Hey everyone, this is Uthris. Welcome back to Let's Play Banished, episode 2. So last episode, we kind of set up this small little village after failing pretty hard initially. And today we're just gonna try and expand out and probably start on another small settlement somewhat to this, down along the river a little bit farther. I'm thinking the main city I want to have along this top of a larger body of water, and it'll kind of spread up through here. Everything else will be small little villages throughout. You'll have to kind of excuse the washed out color. It's currently raining and I have it paused, so you guys might not be able to see everything in very good detail. But yeah, so we'll go ahead and get started here, and I think I'm gonna slow the time down just to normal speed. That way we have time to kind of react to what we need to be doing. We're having a bit of an issue with food right now, and I think a good priority building to get started is a hunting cabin, because you know, that's just a really good source of initial food. You don't really need a lot of people working it. We're currently at our limit of firewood, so I'm going to go ahead and unassign the worker here and allow them to harvest the resources that we need for this building. We're going to need 12 stone and 34 log. We have enough stone, which is over here. We're just short on the lumber, so hopefully that'll be coming our way here soon. I'm gonna go ahead and speed up the time. Times 5 is usually really good, and then times 10 if you're in a hurry. But definitely times 5 if you're just kind of relaxing a little bit. We have a bit of a health crisis. Not really, but I mean, people, you know, are not quite at full. You can inspect every villager individually, so Maximilio is, you know, he's doing okay. He's just doing okay. Here soon also, after the hunting lodge, we're going to have to build a blacksmith, which will be necessary for our survival, because if we run out of tools, people are going to do their jobs inefficiently, causing major problems for us later on. And so we're just, you know, I'm just going to speed up time. We're out of food right now, but I think we're going to stay a little bit flat for a while, and maybe get lucky here, and hopefully no one will starve to death. Our population will stay kind of flat for a while as well, due to the slow aging we have enabled, or realistic aging technically. So we'll have a nice slow population gain. You can have definitely booms if you build too many houses at once, which is something you want to avoid. You want to have like 1 or 2 houses every year or so. That way you have a growth of population. You're not going to get a bunch of old people just dying off on you. So we'll just have to keep managing that. Reserve of logs are low because they're using them for firewood right now since it's winter. This harsh climate, it looks like it doesn't really get above 46 degrees. So, you know, it's definitely pretty harsh. And we just gained another citizen, which will put a little bit more strain on our food supplies. Bit of a shame. We need to harvest some more lumber, obviously, so we're just going to harvest some down here, I think. Our woodcutter is out of resources, but that's okay. We have a fair supply. We're near the cap we have set for now. And we can actually trade a laborer for a builder so we can get started on that hut. Now the hunter's lodge, what I'm going to end up doing is taking one person out of the gatherer's hut and making them into a hunter. And hopefully that will trade off fairly nice. We're low on food again. It's that extra person. Sometimes that can really mess with what you are doing. Seems like we're just barely keeping ahead of the curve for now. But yeah, this is going to be pretty much a stock village for sure. That way we have at least a stable area to work with. And then we'll start branching off from there, trying to get more interesting things built. I'm going to try and keep a zoomed in look most of the time. We need, just so you guys can see some details of things. The builder is going to go ahead and construct this dirt path that we have. And I am going to swap one gatherer for a hunter. And then once the builder's done with the road, I'll make them back into a laborer. And as you can see, our forest is slowly coming back from the woodsman's hut. And in fact, we need to turn on the harvest tree function again, because we need still a supply of lumber for our woodcutter here. But once the forest is fully back, the gatherer's hut will kind of pick up in their harvesting, because, you know, there'll be trees and woodland area, and also the livestock. These deer will stick around as well. So, we haven't killed any deer yet, but hopefully here soon, you know, we'll see a bit of an influx, because you get about 200 food per deer they kill. Or so. I forget the exact amount. And I'm going to go ahead and lay out an area for our blacksmith. I think I'm going to just expand the road down this way. And as you can see, we're definitely managing fairly well. Barely ahead of the curve still, but we will just kind of keep with it. There's going to be probably some time skips, maybe even some fast forwarding segments in here. I'm going to try and play for a total of an hour. That way we can get some progress made, and then it'll be a 20-minute episode, so of course there'll have to be some skipping around for some interesting spots. Let's see. It's a bit of a waiting game at this point. We need some more stone. Seems to be what we're missing right now. Just harvest all of these, I think. And then also down here. Yeah, still no deer being collected. In fact, I don't even see any deer in the area. We'll turn our one builder into a blacksmith and have them make about 50 tools, and then cancel it and then wait for our tool supply to shrink again before going about assigning another job for that person. Health, again, still an issue. We're collecting about 15 herbs per season, which is a little low. Go ahead and switch professions there for the builder. Start making some awesome tools for our citizens. Now what I want to do eventually is find the mod for unlimited stone and iron inside the mines or quarries, because I never like building a lot of those. They take up so much room and they're very ugly aesthetically. And so what I usually limit myself for one quarry and one mine, but they have unlimited, resources attached to them. And this allows for, I think, better gameplay in the long run. So our health actually kind of came back up a little bit, which is nice. This house needs to be built just for expanding purposes. I'm hoping... How is everyone's age? About 20s. How about the children? 3 years old, 6 years old. That makes no sense. It shouldn't be that young. I mean, that old. Unless I started out with that child as 3. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm gonna let him finish one more set of tools, and then I'm gonna switch him to builder again. Where did he take the tools over there? I don't know. I don't know. We need a builder though. Finish this house up. If there's no room in housing, your citizens won't produce children, and that can be an issue. We are really running low on firewood, which is not good. These guys aren't producing very much, which is weird. I can usually only have 2 people working here and have them do just fine in terms of wood production. But the tools probably took some, and then also this house took some as well. So, as you can see, it kind of turned into a quaint little village. At least I think so. Go ahead and make the builder into a laborer again. And we'll just go ahead and harvest all the iron. So the first initial children are going to be instantly turned into food producing people. That way we have a surplus of food so we can expand at a safe manner. And I think from here, we're just gonna be doing some fast forwarding. And hopefully you guys like that segment. I'll be back near the end of the video to kind of sum up everything that was worked on. And you guys can listen to the wonderful music of this. I mean, the game music is fairly relaxing and nice. Okay guys, I think that's enough of a time lapse as needed. You guys basically just went through 5 years of in-game time. Due to the realistic aging, things progress really slow, but I think it's more of a controlled way. So even though I'm playing on a hard difficulty, it doesn't feel too hard because your population grows at kind of a nice realistic rate, and you can manage it fairly quickly, and you can kind of see fluxes as they happen real time. So basically what we did was kind of waited for this area to get built up a little bit. This is just another small little village. It's going to have a forester's hut. Every small village needs a forester's hut. They are the main supply of wood for the city. So this is basically going to follow a similar formula. Instead of a gatherer's hut though, I went ahead and made a apiary. And this will produce honey as food, and also this village will be known for making candles eventually, I think. They have some market stalls so they can import food if this place is being used as mainly candles. And I haven't turned these on yet because it's not really necessary at this time. Because right now they're getting their food from next door, and our population really isn't high enough to sacrifice workers for that. Let me just check their inventory. They do have to kind of walk a little ways to the other town for now, but that's why we built a little winding road. And this small fishing area will kind of support both villages. Eventually, basically just 2 houses and a fishing docks. This is just a meat locker. It's not a full storage barn, and it'll just house all the fish this place catches. And up here, of course, we have the usual. I'm building a couple wells in case there's a fire. You need these things to kind of counteract that. Disasters are on, and it's something to watch out for. Tornadoes can be a big pain if they happen to come through the area that you're in, but luckily I think the map is big enough to where the chances right now, since we're just working on these 2 small little towns, we're probably not going to get hit with anything. Our population has increased a little bit. We've gained about 2 to 3 more laborers, and we've already assigned them to jobs throughout the town. We also gained a couple more children because the new ones have had children themselves. And also as they grow up and move out, the previous adults will probably have more children as well. So now I'm just kind of waiting for the builder to finish off a couple little structures. Here's one of the wells being built in the area. Also built a couple privies. These are just aesthetic things for the village. And I'm partially regretting using this very harsh climate. You guys are seeing a lot of snow. Normally there's not this much, and as much as I like the snow areas, I think this, you know, in spring is really the best time to view everything instead of that constant washed out color that we're getting. So, you know, you can really see the details. I mean, these are modded items, and you can really see the details people are starting to put into the mods. And really, the biggest downside to this game is the fact that mod support came in a little later, and so when everyone was interested, they couldn't get past the base game, and so a lot of people, I'm sure, left and never really looked back. But now that there's, you know, this mod, a Colonial Charter is an awesome total conversion in my opinion. And, you know, I really think there should be more mods. It's just my opinion, though. I'm not really a modder myself. I just kind of use their work to make my game more enjoyable. So, I think that's all we're gonna do on this episode. Next episode we'll probably expand to yet another small little town, or just work on this area a little bit more. Eventually we're going to need a school, at least a small one, so that people can get educated. I don't know if this mod includes a college. It doesn't really look like it. But we need, you know, educated citizens work more efficiently than non-educated citizens. Ooh, we just had another child. And that just produces productivity all around, because when you notice your educated citizens that you started off with die off, your productivity kind of hits a little bit of a hit, and you don't know why, and you kind of have to scramble to reorganize a little bit and cover up their lack of work. This is a nice iron supply. Need to remember that. Maybe eventually I think this place might house the iron work. Since it already has a blacksmith here, it would make sense to have the eventual mine that we need to be here as well. But again, I need to find the mod to make this an infinite mine. We're going to only have one mine and one quarry, and then deal with the consequences of that. We're going to be shipping a lot of goods and materials using the markets, and I think that'll be an interesting part of our economy. I like to limit myself in this game as such, because otherwise it gets, you know, a little repetitive. I mean, this formula here is pretty much a copy and paste of this down here. So anyways, as you know, if you guys are enjoying this series, feel free to subscribe and leave a comment on how you think it's going. And if you have an idea of a specialized small town you want to make, leave a comment on that as well. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks.